The Motorcycle Riders Foundation was created to give the street rider, motorcyclist in the United States, a voice in Washington, D.C. Prior to the existence of the MRF, that didn't really exist, certainly not to the level that the MRF provides. Being able to be represented in issues that are important to us regarding the survival of motorcycling as a mode of transportation, an industry, a lifestyle, a way of life, however you look at it, and the reason we all love being here. We just have to have this in order to go into the future.
We focused on 4 issues this year during our Bikers Inside the Beltway event. We wanted to make changes to the requirements of ethanol in the nation's fuel supply. We have concerns over the integrity of our motorcycle engines and the effects that ethanol might have on that. We are also lobbying on profiling. Many of our members feel like they're being singled out by law enforcement simply because they're riding a motorcycle or wearing motorcycle-related attire. Highly automated vehicles or self-driving cars is another issue we're working on. We want to make sure that they can appropriately recognize and respond to motorcyclists on the road. And then we also are always concerned about the EPA and the level of authority they think they can take in regulating motorcycles and the modifications we make to our exhaust.
Bikers Inside the Beltway was the brainchild of a previous vice president on our board, Bose Kerr from Illinois. And Bose had a lot of great ideas. He was a showman, and he had this concept that if we could really bring together the motorcyclists of the country and have a grassroots lobby day and give them a reason to be on Capitol Hill and talk to the members of Congress and Senate about the issues of the day and what they really wanted and needed, that was the epitome, he thought, of what would personify the voice of the rider. I mean, you know, it's Mr. Smith goes to Washington, but it's Mr. Biker goes to Washington. Ultimately, what we'd really like to see is people become more aware of who and what motorcyclists are and what their needs are and why we feel the way we do and why these things are important to us.
The Motorcycle Riders Foundation gives a voice to the motorcyclists of the country who want to be active, right? They want to protect their freedoms. They want to say in the legislation and the regulations that control us, but more importantly, I think it's to preserve our freedoms and our lifestyle. That's what it's really bottom line all about. Preserve our freedoms, preserve our lifestyle right now and into the future. I got involved in the Motorcycle Riders Foundation because I liked the people that were involved. I liked what the Motorcycle Riders Foundation stood for, and I have a unique appreciation, I think, of having traveled a lot in this world, the unique perspective that very few places, if any, outside of the United States, you can actually redress Congress, right? We can redress Congress with our grievances.
Working with the MRF, that solidifies our efforts up here at the Capitol today, and we'll be going to meet our representatives and talk about our issues in our respective states and how they can help us at a federal level. So here we go, rock on.
They'll hear the exact same message from a passionate, educated advocate for motorcycling. We come across again as just genuine, passionate people, and most of the politicians enjoy the time they spend with us. We find that we have appointments that will run longer than you'd expect. We find people that say, when are the bikers coming to see me? I think that's what we do, right? It's just, we come here, we're representing ourselves, our freedom, our lifestyle, and it's effective. Right? 300 bikers walking the halls of Congress is effective. There's nobody that looks like us, there's nobody that acts like us, and there's nobody that can represent us as good as we do ourselves.
There's a manufacturer of motorcycles that came up with an ad campaign actually a number of years ago that said, for those who understand, no explanation is necessary. For those who don't, no explanation is possible.